And welcome to another spine-tingling episode of Tales from Halheim, everybody. I, of course, happen to be narrator, and with me, as always, are my lovely co-hosts, Duffy and Zero. Now, today, we decided it'd be interesting to do some delving into a case that has left California reeling and the nation in disbelief. If you can't guess it, we're diving in to the chilling details of the Daniel Marsh murders.
That name don't even sound real.
It probably isn't. Who
That's
knows?
a goddamn alias if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, it does sound like one.
That's as generic as like John Smith.
John Doe.
Next week, we're covering John Doe.
All right, that's right, folks. The Daniel Marsh case is one of the most disturbing true crime stories of 2025. On August 10th, 2025, 17-year-old Daniel Marsh brutally murdered an elderly couple, Kenneth and Jacqueline Kimes, in their home in Visalia, California. The sheer brutality of the young age of the perpetrator has left many questions. What could drive a teen to such an act?
Exactly. Daniel Marsh, he was just 15 years old. He committed the horrific crimes. He broke into the Kimes' home where he stabbed Kenneth 70 times and Jacqueline 40 times. Dude was motivated.
That's fucking overkill.
Really. You're just like a little husk at that point.
Well, to fucking repress rage, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I bet you his thing was in his head, like, oh, I can probably say I blacked out or went crazy or,
he's gonna blame
it'll
GTA
be
6.
fine. Yeah.
Guys, we're in the intro. We don't need to dig into motive just yet.
Yeah, I mean, I guess not. So I guess we can start by getting the scene set a little bit. So Kenneth and Jacqueline Kimes were fairly well known in their community. Kenneth was a retired school teacher and Jacqueline was a beloved librarian, which, makes her a bit of a nerd, but
Whoa.
Crimes
Don't
against
speak ill of-
humanity.
Yeah, don't speak ill of the dead.
Hey, just saying. She did great things like allowing kids to go play D&D in libraries. Well, I mean, at least I hope. Or, getting them reading.
I've had a couple mean librarians.
Right.
She made me read.
Oh no, how dare her. But, I mean, all in all, they were pretty respected figures and their murders kind of left the community in mourning and quite a bit of disbelief.
Daniel Marsh's background is equally disturbing. He had a history of mental health issues and had been in and out of juvenile detention facilities. That checks out. There were signs that something was seriously wrong, but unfortunately the system failed to provide the help he needed.
One of the most chilling aspects of the case was the motive. Here we are. Marsh claimed he was driven by a desire to become a serial killer and that he chose the Kimes because he believed they were easy targets. I mean, retired elderly couple. I guess.
That is kind of fucked up.
I blame Marilyn Manson.
As we should. He kept a detailed journal laying out his plans and his fascination with other serial killers.
What a fucking psycho, dude. You wrote it down?
America.
In his fucking spiral notebook, he had a whole plan.
It was actually a My Little Pony Trapper Keeper.
I would not be surprised if he had some sort of video logs, either planning, leading up to, or fucking during or after.
And you know what's playing in the background of those videos?
What was that?
Marilyn Manson. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
It all adds up.
It's a Marilyn Manson GTA 6.
It does add up, but that's because Marilyn Manson is terrifying when you look at him. I mean, you don't know what you're looking at. And
I thought you were going to say he's a terrible person. I was like, you ain't wrong.
I mean, I don't know. I don't follow much of his shit, be it music or otherwise, so I can't really speak on that.
Yeah, because you're a commie.
So, no.
I saw you recreating that Tainted Love music video in your house.
I was doing it in the style of Slaughter to Prevail's Bone Breaker.
It was ironic.
Hell yeah, that was satire. The point. And you will love it, goddammit.
It's called satire.
It's called satire.
Oh, God. But, with all the shit going on, it is a terrifying insight into the mind of a young killer. I mean, you don't really get to know what's going on because majority of them that have decided to do this kind of thing have been, suicide or death by cop. So it's pretty intense. But I mean, Marsh's journal entries, they reveal a bit of a disturbing obsession with violence and a really cold and calculated approach to his crimes. He planned the murders meticulously, even scouting the location fucking beforehand.
He comes off like one of those fucking, what is it, ROTC? Like the fucking,
God.
yeah. Tell me, as of right now in the story, he does not come off as one of those, I'm going to be future military, you got to listen to me. But like the serial killer version, he sure wore a camo jacket while he did all this.
Jeffrey Dahmer did a lot of his early work in the military, so it's not unconnected, I don't think.
Yeah, that dude was a fucking weirdo too.
I mean, most of them fucking are.
All of it's really disturbing though. I don't like the fucking fact that he like beforehand he was scouting the location.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. Another disturbing factor is the lack of remorse shown by Marsh. During his trial, he displayed no emotion, almost as if he was detached from the reality of what he had done. This led many to question whether he understood the gravity of his actions. I think he did. I think he's just a little psycho.
Yeah, if he was planning it this entire fucking time, then he understood what he was doing.
Yeah, it's not like, oh no, I slipped and stabbed this dude 70 times and then his wife 40.
That kind of like detachment is kind of textbook for like psychopathy, like complete detachment of this is a person. It's not always inherently like, oh, I'm trying to harm a person. It's this act. This is my goal, is this act. I'm not trying to harm someone. I'm trying to commit this act. And that separation is really kind of what, yeah. It's about the thrill of the hunt.
You missed it, D, because of the thrill of the kill. You could have made it rhyme.
In the eye of the tiger.
Bro, if that was his pump up music, that'd be insane.
Oh,
so you can do that or pumped up kicks.
Oh no.
No, if it was pump up kicks, he would have been a mass school shooting. That's the difference.
Columbine.
This is just no, I don't think Columbine. I think the song came out way after Columbine. Sandy Hook?
Anyway, the trial was like a media circus. Marsh was tried as an adult, and it's rare for someone his age. He was pretty young. The prosecution argued his age should not be a factor given the premeditated and brutal nature of the crimes. The defense, on the other hand, cited his mental health issues and his young age as mitigating factors.
That is bullshit.
Yeah.
That should not. I honestly think in like murders, age shouldn't be considered. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, you can't give like a life sentence to somebody that's underage.
Bullshit.
Because, dude, that's what they're arguing. A lot of states are arguing that they shouldn't be given a life sentence if they're like younger kids because they're still growing up and they don't know what they did. But I mean, you killed somebody, you fucking took their life. You shouldn't be able to live out the rest of yours.
By 17, you know enough right and wrong to know not to murder someone.
Yeah, that should be like I know there's like mental health issues, but I mean, at that point, it's kind of on the person to try to find help. I know that it's not like the mental health industry isn't like the greatest here where we live, but at that point, I don't know if like he even tried to reach out or like anything like that. At that point, I feel like it's kind of on you.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, in the end, Marsh was convicted and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, which he fucking deserved.
Yep, that's what we love to see.
Exactly. I mean, I have other ideas, but we'll save that for the After Hours premium show. But
subscribe to our Patreon.
You can see narrator's feet.
That we don't have yet, but it'll get there and my feet will be on it.
Them grippers.
Right.
You want to see something truly terrifying?
The narrator.
Subscribe. But the judge did cite that the extreme violence and the lack of remorse were the key factors in the sentencing. It's a stark reminder of the consequences of such heinous acts. Now, if only they could do this for fucking predators.
Yeah, but
just let him hang out with Marsh. Let him take care of him.
Yeah, but I'm glad, honestly, that he got the life sentence because, like I said, I've stated that if you take somebody's life, you shouldn't be allowed to live out the rest of yours. And I know a lot of people would be like, you can't give the death sentence to a 17-year-old, and I get that. A lot of people are going to be like, no, it's wrong, but I mean, a life sentence is pretty good too. So Yeah, dude, there's a lot of fucking questions about like the juvenile justice system and the treatment of young offenders with mental health issues. But how do we really balance the need for justice and the need for rehabilitation, especially for somebody so young?
It's such a complex issue, and unfortunately, there's really no easy answer.
Yeah.
Stuff like this really highlights the need for better mental health support and like intervention for at-risk youth. I mean, maybe with the right help, tragedies could be prevented, but at the end of the day, there's only so much that can be done without direct intervention by some sort of higher power governing entity that also calls into question so many other lines that would be drawn and crossed and uproars were made over.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wholeheartedly agree that mental health should be a focus, but not just for the young, for everybody. Like, you really want to prevent this shit and help people out, then okay, fuck us over on healthcare, fuck us over on taxes, fuck us over on everything else, but at least give free fucking mental health.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that you should do. But actually, you know what, Duffy? I've been thinking about something. How often do we hear about young people committing such violent crimes? I mean, it's not uncommon, but it's always shocking. So, I mean, what would you, or even you, Zero, what would you guys say about this?
Well, I mean, you're right, dude. It's kind of a harsh reminder that evil really doesn't have an age. And in Marsh's case, the fact that he was so young and said he's calculated, dude, that's the only way to put it. He was calculated in his actions and it's really unsettling.
I mean, you can't forget about the impact it left on the community. Visalia was a really close knit town. The Kimes were really well respected. Murder, it left a really deep wound. It's probably not going to heal anytime soon.
Oh, I highly doubt it. And let's just hope that by the time it does, you don't have someone, looking up to this kid and going, well, if he did 70 and 40, I'm going to do 194.
And the type of people that do this kinds of stuff are the people that are always going to try to one up one another. It's just an escalation.
Yeah, it really is. But, getting back to the community aspect of it, there have been some interesting developments since the trial. The Kimes family has been very vocal about their desire for justice and has actually even started a foundation in their names to support victims of violent crimes, which I think is pretty damn honorable.
Yeah, dude, that's really beautiful, and that's a really great way to honor them because it is just such a tragic story, but out of it, something positive came out of like it emerged. The foundation is providing resources and support to other families who have gone through the same ordeal. So that's kind of like, hey, like I went through this super shitty thing, and I know you went through it, but I want to help you out just so you know that you're not alone.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. People face such unimaginable loss and disgusting crimes, but people can always seem to find a silver lining and turn a tragedy into something meaningful.
Yeah, no, that is always good, but you know what, guys? I've been reading up on serial killers and their motivations, and Marsh's fascination with becoming a serial killer isn't actually that unique. I mean, honestly, many young people are drawn to the dark allure of these figures and the mystery and the, I guess, thought of violence for some of them, the intrigue of, oh, is this something I could actually do type, intrusive thoughts. Like there's just so much going into this when it comes to the young people.
Yeah, dude, honestly, it's not really that crazy because a lot of the cases you hear about like young killers or like mass shooters, they always like they have like pictures of them or they look up to them. They're like, "Oh, well, that was so cool what he did. I'm going to do it too." But honestly, a lot of people think that the media just kind of glorifies serial killers, which I mean, it kind of does. And there's kind of like a certain morbid curiosity that attracts people to stories like these, but it's really a dangerous obsession as we've seen in Marsh's case.
I mean, it really just it raises a question though, like how could we realistically protect vulnerable youth from falling down the dark path or these rabbit holes people get into? I think it really would just be like better mental health resources, education, and like I was saying earlier, just support systems. Now, what that would look like realistically, that's kind of where the question is, and it would really take a lot of collaborative work to get something
Yeah.
set up.
Yeah, but it's something that would be worth it, you know? I mean, look at all the violence we've been having, you know, recently with everything going on, all the different shootings, the fact that quite a bit of them have been young people, and typically they end up, you know, going out by law enforcement, and it's insane to see, but, you know, we got to try and not forget the role that the justice system has in all this stuff. I mean, Marsh was tried as an adult, which is a rare, but I believe necessary step given how severe these fucking crimes were. Like, it wasn't just, oh, you know, in a hit and run or, oh, an accidental like thing. No, I mean, this was brutal. This was calculated. This was extremely fucking violent. Like,
Premeditated.
Oh yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
It wasn't an
And
act of passion. He knew what he wanted to accomplish, and he made steps towards it to complete this goal.
Yeah, dude, he fucking scoped their house out. That's fucking insane.
yeah, like it, and I think and hope that, you know, people that have paid attention to this, if anybody has, and if not, you should, especially if you have children, because it sends a clear message that age is not a shield against the consequences of violent actions. And, you know, it shows that we got to make sure we're teaching our children the right fucking things.
Preach.
Yay.
But it also really highlights the need for like a more nuanced approach in the juvenile justice system because yeah, like he was young, but this by all means does feel like the correct call. The only thing is we kind of just need to find a better balance between like holding the young offenders accountable and then providing them with the rehabilitation that they need because locking them up, yeah, that keeps them like away from doing it again, but that also doesn't really like touch on the actual subject, which is that they need like mental help. Like it's fucked up to say, but a lot of like the young offenders, if you go back and look at their cases, like for murderers or mass shooters, they've all had like they've not all been there because you got to really be in a really fucked up place to do something like that.
I mean, when you look at stuff like where these people are coming from, it's either from traumatic past or like head injuries or some sort of mental illness that just didn't get the attention it needed. So, I mean, really, it's a really tough thing to balance out, but it's essential. Like, you can't just write off young people who commit horrific acts and lost causes. Like, they're still people. At the end of the day, like they're people. They need help.
Yeah.
And the system just needs to be more well equipped to like work it out and provide it for them.
Yeah, for sure. They need to be able to find like a nice balance to that to be able to help them.
They really do. And, you know, I think part of our legal system, unfortunately, is failing us in that aspect because, you know, there's things we can do to make mental health affordable. There's shit that can be put into place to make it where, you know, if people can't afford shit, like, okay, this portion of it can be covered by the state, by something, you know, fund donations, however they would raise the money to have it, or if they use it at a pre-existing funds that we have, taxes that we already pay. I mean, you can't tell me they're spending their entire budget all the fucking time, like year in and year out.
I mean, right now, it just feels like our entire system is geared towards reactionary, like what is put in place for punitive action as opposed to prevention.
Mm-hmm.
You know, systems in place that would make it so these things don't happen as opposed to what happens after, which is pretty explicitly done. Like you kill someone, you go to prison.
Yeah.
And then there are all the caveats that have been like explored for all the different nuances of like this person was this old, this was the motivation. All that's well established for after the fact, but there's not much in place to prevent it. And it could be, it would be complicated, but it could also be really simple if there's enough, you know.
Honestly, dude, it's really like, it's a necessity at this point.
It is a necessity.
Like, as you said, we're not really focusing on like preventing it. Like people come in like, oh, well, this dude he's been saying some like crazy shit. And then like the police don't really like follow up on it until like he goes in and like kills fucking 50 people. And then they're like, it could have been prevented. Like, yeah, they fucking told you.
Yeah.
You guys were given warning, but you didn't want to listen. You decided, oh no, it's just a phase. Oh no, it's it's fine. He's just angry. Oh no, he's just upset. That's not quite how that fucking works.
And not to be like super counterpoint to your thing earlier, narrator, you said recently. Unfortunately, like recently isn't really a thing because this is something that's gone on since like people existed. This has always been a thing.
True.
It's not like things are just ramping up all of a sudden. Like young people and people in general have been killing each other since people existed. So
No, I mean that's true, but
it's more prevalent, like that it's happening more recent. Like, yeah, everybody's been murdering, but like every other week, dude, I turn on my TV or I go on like the fucking like social media and it's like another school shooting. And I've like, we grew up in a time where like it was rare. Like the first one you can really remember was like Columbine. Like I was really young when that happened, but still remember watching it. Like, oh shit, like watching like news captions for it, like people being interviewed about it. And then with the Virginia Tech, I remember that shut down the whole fucking like the school I was at. We're like, oh shit, like we're gonna like just sit here and we're gonna like watch like the news, what's going on. And now like every other fucking week there's another mass shooting and it's like ramping up because we're not really finding these young people the help that they really need.
well, that and think about what they were saying, glorifying the shit by putting it on the news. That's what you're doing. Think about it. If they were to just put it on the news, but not glorify it, not put it out there, not go into detail, not show everything, just a brief snippet of text saying, oh, mass shooting here, such and such, just basic info. So they don't get that recognition.
every generation has like their spurt of it though. Like if you look at, I mean, we have media saturation now that like glorifies everything and points everything out and makes it really in your face. But if you even look back just a little bit, like the 70s, we had 60s and 70s, we had 17-year-olds going off to Vietnam and burning villages down. And before that, it was like World War II. Every generation has their spurt of it's just human nature.
Yeah, but like the difference in that though was that they were kind of like the military. That's, hey, we're gonna put you over here and we want you to do this and this and this. This is just them being like, you know what? I had a bad day. I had a bad life. Like people have been fucking picking on me. I'm gonna go to school and make it somebody else's fucking problem. And the crazy shit is like if you really look into a lot of like the mass shooters, they're not necessarily that they got picked on. It's just they weren't even like what was it? I want to say Sandy Hook. That was an elementary school. The kid went there like for 2 years and
Oh,
then
yeah.
he just he went back afterwards and he was like, I'm gonna make it everybody else's fucking problem. Not necessarily that they're being bullied, is that they just didn't get like the mental help like that they needed. And honestly, dude, that's really fucked up.
No, it is. It's, we talk about horror and gore and paranormal and, terrifying shit. But if you think about it, this day and age is truly terrifying because you never know where or when the next crazy shit is going to happen because everybody wants the easiest way to fame these days and don't want to have to work for it.
Sure.
Yep, pretty much, man.
And that's kind of why, you guys have seen my expressed disgust for TikTok. And that's why, a lot of bad trends and things that have been going down have stemmed from people trying to get famous on TikTok and turning it into a trend.
I miss the good old days when we'd just eat a spoonful of cinnamon like we saw on YouTube.
I miss the good old days of when we didn't have time to do that shit because we were, skating outside or biking or fucking basketball, football, whatever, just
Plowing the field to make sure this year's harvest would be bountiful.
that as well.
Taking the
That
children
as
back
well.
to the mines because they yearn for them.
Oh, that wasn't everybody's kids? What? I really could have sworn that was, but everyone, as we come to an end for this episode, I really can't help but have a big sense of unease. I mean, this case is a stark reminder of the darkness that can exist within us, as you were kind of just talking about, even at a young age. Like it's a chilling tale that will stay with us for a long fucking time. This isn't going to go away in, a day or two, even months. It could be years before this is kind of past us.
And more than it just being a tale, it's more really a call to action for all of us to be more aware. It's more supportive and vigilant in our communities. I mean, we can't always be the face of action, and we can't even change the past, but we can always work towards it just being a better future and being safer for everybody.
It's really well said. Well, to our listeners, I want to thank you for joining us on our journey into the dark heart of true crime. Remember, stories that we tell here are not just about the crimes. It's really about the people that they affect, the lessons we can get from them.
And I want to say a thank you to you both for having this in-depth discussion with me. It's been a sobering reminder of the darkness that can and does exist within some of us, even at a young age. And now, to all you fans, we greatly appreciate you, and we definitely hope that you will join us next time as we delve into another chilling story.
Join us next time, Tales from Halheim.